Welcome to Connect Canyons, a podcast sponsored by Canyon School District. This is a show about what we teach, how we teach, and why. We get up close and personal with some of the people who make our schools great. Students, teachers, principals, parents, and more. We meet national experts too. Learning is about making connections. So connect with us.
Whether you're a parent looking for a fun, intellectually challenging way for your kids to spend their summer, or you're a high school student desiring to get a jump on your studies for next year, Canyons School District offers a rich variety of summer learning opportunities for students of all ages. You're listening to Connect Canyons. I'm your host, Kirsten Stewart, and I'm joined here today by Amy Boettger, principal of the Canyons Virtual Academy, which administers a good portion of our summer programming. Welcome to Connect Canyons, Amy.
Thanks so much, Kirsten.
All right, summer. As a parent, I have to say this is some of the most stressful time of the year because, you want to do all these vacations and then you got to, in between, figure out what to do to keep your kids engaged and busy and learning. And here at Canyons, though, we got our parents' backs. We're here for them. We are your source for summer learning and fun. So let's start with the Canyons Virtual Academy. You're a student, you're on the go, but no matter, we got you. Your high school student can jump on their studies virtually and keep up with their studies or maybe even play catch up from pretty much anywhere, right? Just through our online CVA. How does that work?
Absolutely. So it works. Any student in Canyons District, any high school student can take any of our Canyons virtual courses for free. And that is whether they need it for original credit, if they're looking to do credit replacement, or we have literally introduced within the last 2 weeks credit recovery courses. So instead of having to go somewhere and buy packets from somebody in the community, they can go on and do some credit recovery courses.
Okay, so let's talk about those definitions. So credit replacement would be a class you took, you got a grade for it, but you want a better grade.
Exactly.
And then credit recovery is you didn't finish the class.
Correct. And credit replacement, you'll want to see your counselor and make sure you filled out the paperwork that you're intending to replace a course.
Okay.
You can't do it after the fact, so make sure you do that ahead of time. It's also good to check with a counselor to make sure you're taking the courses that you actually need for graduation. We have seen in the past sometimes students will take a course that they've already taken and they don't need it, and they don't even need it for credit recovery. So make sure you check with your counselor.
Okay, and that's true for even if you want to get a jump on your schedule, do you need to just check in with your counselor as well?
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what are some of the courses, what kinds of courses do you offer? And then maybe even what are some of the more popular courses in the summer?
Oh, great question. We have everything from honors classes in the summer to just regular classes. We don't offer AP during the summer.
Okay.
Because those teachers are probably resting and relaxing. Mm-hmm. But so for those courses, just, again, check with your counselor and see what you need.
And you could do it in the fall, maybe.
You could do it in the fall, right? Some students want to graduate earlier. Some students don't want to have a first or fifth period, and so they'll take classes so they have a lighter schedule in school. Yeah. But that's one option. We have kids that have emailed us and said, "Hey, we're in Australia right now. We're visiting with family, and we need a course reset or we need some help." So kids are really accessing the courses and doing them from literally all over the world. Yeah.
Well, I know, too, just with my experience with my own children, there's actually even PE courses that you can do.
Correct. There's
online.
PE courses. Every regular ed class, language arts, math, science, social studies, electives. We have drawing. We have photography. There's just a lot of courses that we have. Soon, it's not ready for prime time yet, but we soon are going to be introducing a music class. So students that have had experience either singing or playing an instrument can go in and meet some of the competencies. The teacher will grade those, and they can actually get credit in music as well.
That's amazing. That's amazing. What a time saver. So summer courses, we're talking just about high school students right now. Middle school content, not for the summer, correct?
Correct. Okay. We have middle school courses and middle school teachers during the school year, but not during the summer. That's correct.
Okay. And I think the time to sign up is probably now?
Yes, sign up is already open. Access to the courses begin on May 31st, and they need to be done with their courses by August 1st.
Okay.
So that gives about 8-9 weeks or so where a student can crank through as many courses as they want to try to do in the summer.
And is there a deadline to sign up, or could they just up until August?
Pretty much up until August. We try to limit registration. I don't have the exact date, but probably by mid-July, we're going to close down registration just so they still have a week or two to be able to finish those courses.
Okay.
And average time in course will take a student. Some students they already know the material, they go really fast, but we try to have them estimate between 15 and 20 hours somewhere in there
For the whole course.
for
Okay.
a whole quarter credit course.
That's
right.
amazing. When you say high school students, incoming 8th graders can also take advantage of this.
That's exactly right. Incoming 8th graders that finish up in May.
You're right.
So I'm no longer an
I
8th
guess I
grader.
should call them freshmen or incoming 9th graders, right? But they finished 8th. Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
That's really cool. Anything else you want to mention about CVA?
Just emphasizing those new credit recovery courses. It's a little bit easier to access, so you're not having to go try to find a packet somewhere. But just even though it's an online course, sometimes students think, oh, it's going to be easier, and it's not really easier. It is. The credit recovery courses are a little abbreviated, so they're not as long as a full course would be. But they're also not super easy either. So make sure you give yourself plenty of time to get in. Every single Canyons virtual course has a proctored final exam.
Oh.
So you go through, you'll take everything, you'll have a teacher you'll work with, pass all the modules, but you'll have to come in, schedule a test, and make sure that you pass that test in order to get credit for the course.
I like what you're saying there is it does take someone who's self-driven and committed to seeing this through, right? And you've got to still show that you've mastered the content.
Exactly. Yeah. And I would encourage any student that's interested in taking an online course, whether it's with us or another provider, to put a schedule together for themselves. So I'm going to work on 2 courses this summer, so I would suggest that you plan 2 to 3 hours, 2 to 3 times a week. Have a regular schedule, kind of like it's a job or a regular class, and you'll get done in plenty of time. Please feel free to reach out to us either directly to Canyons Virtual if you're interested in online courses, or reach out to Community Education, and we'll be glad to answer questions.
What is your enrollment like? I mean, these are really popular, aren't they? And then with CVA, enrollment is also, it's also a very popular offering for kids from all over the state, correct?
All over the state of Utah. So if you're listening to this and you don't have a student, high school age student that goes to Canyons District, do not worry. We service students from St. George all the way up to Logan and farther north, east and west. So we'd love to have you.
And hundreds of them a year, right?
Hundreds a year. Canyons virtual classes are unlimited. We don't have a cap on size.
Oh.
Yeah. We will limit students sometimes to up to 4 classes, only because we don't want students to get overwhelmed. We notice students that are most successful if they start a course, maybe they're in 1 or 2 courses, and see them through first instead of jumping around for multiple courses.
And really, every class is taught by a licensed, certified teacher who has an expertise in this kind of delivery, right, of education.
That's exactly right. So they are very well-trained and excellent online teachers. They know how to work with students. They know how to help parents and families navigate. We have a full tech staff, so if you're having trouble logging on or connectivity issues, you can talk to our tech team. They're around all summer. And I did want to also mention, I believe we're one of the only 2, maybe the only program, but at least 2 programs available for online learning in the summer in the entire state.
I know, too, that we've been doing it for some time. So
yes, we
one
started
of the
in
longer ones.
2011, one of the very first online providers in Utah under a new law that came on the books back then in 2012. And so, we've been doing it a while. We kind of think we know what we're doing and love to help students.
So we talked about when they can sign up. We can include in the show notes maybe a link to where they can register, and that'll make it super easy for everyone.
Perfect.
Let's talk summer camps.
Summer camps. So we have Canyons Community Ed classes, and we've got some exciting summer camps coming.
Okay.
We will have 4 different weeks of summer camps. They're fabulous for families who maybe are traveling or we don't have childcare in the summer, but our kids are bored. They're driving us nuts. What's nice is most of our 3 of those 4 weeks will actually be in July. So, go have fun in June and maybe do a camp in June, but 3 of those weeks are in July.
Okay.
And those camps will be at either Glacier Hills or at Brookwood. I believe so we have a camp starting the week of June 24th, a camp starting the week of July 8th, one starting the week of July 15th, and one the week of July 29th.
I was looking a little bit at the schedule. There's really kind of a huge breadth of offerings. I mean, everything from arts to robotics, right? There's one about being a mad scientist, right?
Exactly, yes. And then we have a little bit of sports. We have basketball camp. So if you have some folks that want to get better at their basketball skills, we've got soccer going on, hip hop and tumbling, magic, engineering and robotics. Again, like you said, art. We've got tennis. We've got something called power chess. And so just kind of a wide variety of things that hopefully will keep students interested, engaged, and give parents and families a little bit of a break.
Yeah. Keeps those brains active, right? That's
Exactly.
important. And then I think pretty much all ages 6 to 12, is that what I saw
All
somewhere?
ages, yes.
Yeah.
6 to 12.
I know that there is like a small fee for these, but we do try to keep it super affordable. I've taken advantage of them in the past.
Exactly, yes. And some camps, range anywhere from $35 on up. It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
We have morning sessions, we have afternoon sessions. Some kids that will do both morning and afternoon. We encourage families to plan on having them bring a bag lunch every day. We'll have adult supervision for them.
Okay.
And so that's kind of nice for students to, get away from mom and dad to kind of get a little bit of break.
Right. I love it. Registration is open now for those as well, right? So
That's
do they
right.
fill up on a first come, first served basis?
They do.
Okay.
So if you're interested, you want to get on our website, go to Canyons District, look for community education, and you can check out the specific classes, when they're held, where they're held, and just more details on cost, those
Okay.
kinds of things. They're really popular. So we limit it to, we like to have one adult for every 12 kids. So, and most of the classes are between 12 and 15. So we generally will have 2 adults
Okay.
in each of our summer classes.
We'll include a link to that as well in the show notes so that people can find that, the registration information, and then just a full course, right, menu of what's available.
Right.
So, and I think that pretty much covers it. I do know like a lot of our schools have a lot of different summer options too. I'm thinking of like sports camps and
Right.
woodworking, I think some of them, robotics, and they can just check directly with their schools for that information.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, well, wonderful. Well, thank you for being here today. If there's anything else I've missed, no.
I think you've got it, and absolutely my pleasure to be here.
You've been listening to Connect Canyons. Again, I'm your host, Kirsten Stewart. If you have any ideas for topics you'd like us to discuss, please reach out to us at communications@canyonsdistrict.org.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Connect Canyons. Connect with us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram @Canyons District, or on our website, canyonsdistrict.org.